music now I wanna, can I ever refuse it? Pulsating, vibrating, reggae, reggae, reggae. Very sky, rock, steady, mental, a quadrillion, a cool minute.
Firebone hot, ashes get cold, but we know not what the future holds. But I say, everything's gonna be alright. Cause I know now. There comes the daylight. There comes the daylight.
Shoop, 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 shoop-a-doo, yeah.
Let us all unite.
Shoop, 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 shoop-a-doo, yeah.
There comes the daylight. In my heartbreak, grief and sorrow, the land teach me there's a better tomorrow.
Things get tough and may seem tight,
Yeah.
but I know, my friend, there comes the daylight.
Daylight.
There comes the daylight. Together now.
Shoop, 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 shoop-a-doo, yeah.
And let us all unite.
Unite.
Shoop, 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 shoop-a-doo, yeah.
Here comes the daylight.
Don't lose hope or fall apart.
Resilience beats deep in my heart. Never give up or give in to a fight. Cause I know, my friend, here comes the daylight.
Daylight.
Here comes the daylight. Hey.
Shoop, 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 shoop-a-doo, yeah.
Let us all unite.
Shoop, 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 shoop-a-doo, yeah.
Here comes the daylight.
Shoop, 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 shoop-a-doo, yeah.
Let us all unite.
Shoop, 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 shoop-a-doo, yeah.
Here comes the daylight. Here comes the daylight. Here comes the daylight. Here comes the daylight. Here comes the daylight.
Shoop, 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 shoop-a-doo.
And let us all unite. And let us all
You get it started,
unite.
that's good. That's good.
And let us all unite.
So things go with the pantomime.
Well, we back on for Saturday. We picking up steam nicely. School's coming in now and beginning to enjoy themselves, and
Wonderful.
we're beginning to enjoy ourselves now that we kind of settle into the groove, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You don't normally go out of town.
Sorry.
You don't normally go out of town.
I have been looking into that. This show would be a little bit challenging to do so because of the set.
Okay.
We have one set piece which is like call it 4 feet high by 10 feet by 8 feet. So for most places that don't already take up most of the stage that you would have to perform, you know. And plus to transport that plus a couple other things is a little bit of a challenge. So this might not be an out of town possible show, but it is something that I am definitely seeking to do. I'd love to go to Mobay. Big dream would be to win a lotto and go convention center and book it out for a weekend.
Of course.
Carry down my cast and my band and my crew, make them stay in a hotel and enjoy a little nice life.
Yeah, man.
You know, put on the show, make country people enjoy things in them own parish, because I mean, I'm grateful for the fact that they come into town.
Yeah.
Just each time, but it would be nice if they never have to go so far all the time, you know.
What about overseas?
I one wish of mine.
What about
But,
overseas?
Overseas is also quite a challenge because whereas the most of the other Jamaican theater productions, is like 3 or 4 persons to cast. And most of them are set like in like a home or something like that. You know, it's easy for a cast to just fly up on them regular visa, or even if you apply for a work permit for them, it's only like 4 or 5 persons.
Yeah.
And you can buy a coach or rent a coach from whichever big box store. But you know, I can't rent a old Jamaican house or
Oh, yeah.
Riverside, you know. I have to carry my set. So one of the last productions that we carried to the States was Miss Annie, which was loosely based on White Witch of Rose Hall.
Okay.
It was a retelling of one of my mother's earlier works, The Witch. And we did it as Miss Annie, and we built a wonderful replica or replication. It wasn't really a replication of the Rose Hall Great House. We had a horse-drawn carriage, horse in inverted commas, because the horse was really a guy in a horse head and costume. So we had all of these wonderful things. We had cane that them could have chopped in at the cane piece and all of that, and we packed up everything, put it in a container and shipped it off weeks before the show. When we were to arrive in Canada, we heard that they couldn't find the container with the set. Say, all right, people don't buy them ticket already and all of that, you know, we need to figure it out. So let's get on the plane and go anyway. So when we got to airport, we hear, okay, all right, so they found the container, and the container is en route to Canada. Container ended up in Haifa, Israel, instead of Halifax.
Oh,
Canada.
wow.
Yeah. The trailer did not arrive until 10 minutes before the show. Needless to say, we did not perform the first couple scenes, the first act with the set.
Right.
We had to jump around and find things and make a quick backup version of what the set would be. And I remember a former cast member who came to see the show came backstage and he said, you know, I thought the set would have been more, you know. I said, I'm true, you don't know. You're lucky with that. Yeah, so it's for us traveling is a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
But it's not something that we would rule out, but you definitely have to have a lot of lead time to plan it, to get the permits and the shipping done and that kind of thing. I remember that we're traveling with, since COVID, we've scaled back on our band. We normally had like an 8-piece band. So we've scaled back and we do a mix of tracks and live music, but that's still like, you know, 4 band members. There's a cast of 20, tech team of at least 4 or 5, because you're gonna have to carry at least 2 stagehands that know the show. So by the time you're done, you're looking at buying plane tickets for, you know, 26, 27 people.
30 people, yeah.
30 people, yeah. So it has to be, whoever the promoter is has to really sort out their things and sort it out well.
Okay, and all that, yeah.
Right. We did go to England in the 90s. And what that producer did was we went during the summer, so we were able to stay in boarding schools, dormitories, so that cut down on their cost. But of course, they still had to find plane fare. I mean, we did a fundraiser to try and pay for part of that, and that was the days of good old Air Jamaica, where we were able to get a little something off of the shipping, the freight of the props and the set and costumes and all of that kind of stuff. But it's a challenge. I mean, it's something that we really would love to do, but it's a hard sell. Not so sure how that would work out unless, as I said, we book up a nice millionaire entrepreneur who says, sure, why not?
Yeah, of course. But it's wonderful to, you know, keep it going, because it's, you know,
Yeah, well, we have
So
to.
powerful, yeah, so powerful.
We have to. We have to. I mean, that's the one thing that we are devoted to, and I am grateful for my team of steady hands who
Oh yes,
decided that we're not going to let it die and we'll keep fighting, you know.
yep.
I mean, COVID nearly mashed we down to nothing.
People don't
But
understand that events can't run it with a team.
no, not at all. It's not it's even a one-man show. Is not one. Is only
No,
one man on the
no, it
stage, but the amount
can't.
of people backstage is
Yeah. Mm,
is you can't hardly count on two hands.
yeah. Mm,
You know,
mm, mm.
it really is it's a team effort. It's a big team effort.
Any
Not a
dreams of going back to the ward?
one. Ideally, I would love to. I have many great memories of the ward. The ward is
Oh
my
yes.
stomping ground from as far back as I can remember. But the ward is a real challenge, and it's something that has to be approached with great thought and consideration, because there are so many things that have changed about society now. Everybody has a car. Everybody
Oh
wants
yes.
to drive somewhere and park and come out and go where they're going. You would have to definitely secure proper parking for your patrons, proper parking for your crew and your cast. I mean, I have 20 in my cast, and a number of them drive. In days gone by, it would have been 3 or 4 persons that drove.
Driving.
You could have parked on Love Lane and thing. And to be fair, and we were always grateful for it. The residents of Love Lane were always very gracious and wonderful to us. In fact, we used to play football with them and that kind of thing. So we had a good relationship with them. But I mean, things are different now. You have to be able to accommodate your team. You have to be accommodate your patrons. And if you don't get the parking situation solved, that's gonna be an issue for whatever goes down at the ward.
Yeah.
But
It's big in the
yeah, there's a lot of this.
media
It's been
now.
in the news. It's been in the news. I mean, we've had years of struggle with the ward when we used to be down there. We took the very hard decision to not do the full run down there. We used to start from December and go right round to I think it would have been March or April. And then it got increasingly challenging, not so much downtown, but just the factors that are involved in a theater space that needs constant attention and constant maintenance. And we took the decision that we would only go down for the first month, December into January. And then we scaled that back again. And then we just weren't able to go anymore in 2000. 2000, I think. 2000 was when we stopped going down there any at all. And then it closed out not long after that. But it was a difficult decision. It was a difficult thing, because the memories are there. And the tradition is one thing, but sometimes you have to work towards a new tradition. I remember one year, I think it was 1996. There was some kind of tropical disturbance or some heavy rain, and at the backstage at the ward, the dressing rooms are on 3 flights, three stories. Of dressing. And there's a long staircase that goes from the top to the bottom. And when the rain came in and attacked the aging roof, the water was just running down the steps like a waterfall. We had to everybody from out to the dressing rooms, and I got dressed for that show backstage behind the backdrop and over in the corners here and there and all kind of thing. It was just hard. It's hard running a space. It's hard keeping a space like that intact, and more so when it is centuries old, and you never really have enough funds to do all the things that you would want to do. I don't envy whoever is trying to sort it out. I know KCMC and the mayor have said that they're devoted and will try. And I do wish something can happen.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a lot of work and a lot of effort.
But shouldn't we be looking to build new
Yes,
venues?
yes, most
Because
definitely.
same thing with the stadium, same thing with Savannah Park,
Right.
trying to fix up.
You're
But
right. You're trying. But you see, the thing is, sometimes we go ahead and make plans without fully understanding the ins and outs of what happened. Because I mean, yes, we have that stadium down in Trelawney, but same thing again, nobody figured the fact that the Trelawney Stadium is out of the way. It's not nearby. You have to definitely be going there to get there.
Mhm.
You know, and that causes a challenge in terms of its upkeep and its usage. And it's a similar kind of thing. But if they were to think it through, I mean, they could tie it into the educational system. Take
Well,
two of the teachers' colleges, community colleges across the island, build a proper retrofitted auditorium, not just a concert hall, but a proper auditorium where you, even if you don't have fixed seating, but the ability for seating, and you know, it already has a full-size stage, backstage area, lights and sound fully fitted in. And I know you can make money off of that, because if it's tied to something like a teacher's college, that means they're gonna already have functions that they're going to want to do. They can then rent it to whichever church who need a convention, or who want to hold a concert, or who want to hold a stage show. You can do it. I mean, put one in Mandeville, Clarendon, and then one out west, either Trelawney, St. James, or even Ocherius, and you're gone clear. But that would be the fantastic thing to do in terms of having respect for the arts and the creative industry.
But we have to. I mean, you know, sooner or later we have to.
I hope one day somebody has not just the vision, but the drive to do it. Because vision is one thing, but if you don't have the backative of the money people, it's hard to get anything done, you know. And the thing is to find the right size for it as well, because I don't think it makes sense to do like a 2,000 seat auditorium, because you hardly ever get a chance to fill that kind of capacity for a sit down function, you know. But if you make it so that it's modular, and you can make it small. If you have like a church graduate, if you have like a school graduation and you only need to put in 800 seats, then it can work that way, or whatever it is. But you know, work out something. It will be good.
I think we need to look at these things now.
Yeah, I mean, if you consider it is the same thing with sports, I know that is your baby, you know. I mean, I know we can't get Jarrett Park back in proper state.
Right. But I don't know. Something is wrong.
You know what it is? We're busy.
We have so many stadiums.
Yeah. The thing is, we're busy, and so
we're busy.
But we're busy. But is what we're busy with.
Yeah,
is what we're busy with, and we don't have time to look in certain directions, you know.
No, but sports and entertainment, the arts is so powerful in Jamaica.
Yeah, that's the lifeblood of who Jamaica is.
Part of us.
Of course.
So
that's who we are as a people.
Yeah, we need to
take it more seriously.
Yeah, seriously, yeah.
And understand the money that it can make. I mean, one would hope that them looked at the last couple of events that we've had since Christmas that caused such excitement. I mean, Harris and Budge block up the whole of the road from St. straight back to St. Catherine and heading out almost towards Montego Bay with traffic of people trying to get to come and see their concert. I mean, people will go to an event that speaks to them. So it's not like it can't be done or there isn't want for it. It's just how you approach it and how you look at the bigger picture as well.
Yeah. And to keeping these concerts at the stadium at Savannah Park, like Vibes Cartel and the one they did at Smyrna Park. I mean, it's so
Yeah,
ridiculous. So
yeah,
ridiculous.
it's ridiculous. But here's the sad thing. I mean, with the state of cricket right now, a concert, I can't anything because West Indies cricket is struggling and struggling so hard.
Yeah, right. But you're destroying the place. You know, those
Yeah, that's the
places
thing. You
need
have
a
to
whole
consider that.
space.
Yeah, consider that as well. I
Mm.
mean, you know, I mean, we have had the joy of putting cricket on stage. So we
You
did
have.
that in a pantomime. Yeah,
Oh,
man,
yes,
we had a
yes,
pantomime called How's That?
yeah.
Where we built the stands and had them do the cricket rounds and thing and match, and we even had the water break with the water cat and things. So, you know,
Oh, yeah.
it's the arts and every facet of life ties in together. And it's always an interesting thing to see how all of the parts of Jamaica come together on stage.
But you have what the word I'm looking for now? You have recorded those?
Not properly. The thing is, we used to get them properly recorded by CPTC and Wycliffe Bennett, who had such a vision of to ensure our cultural heritage stayed intact. But things changed, things shifted. We just started recording for our personal archival purposes, nothing that I would feel comfortable saying I could, because I mean, I get that question all the time, you know, where can I see old shows? Where can I get footage of this, that, and the other? I mean, we have some stuff, but I don't think it's broadcast for sale kind of thing.
Yeah. But you need to start at some point in time.
I mean, we do have our YouTube channel, and we do have stuff on YouTube where we have clips from shows and songs and that kind of thing. But in the grand scheme of things, one day we'll get it all together and be able to do what we need to do.
Yeah, that would be so great. Yeah.
But you see, the thing is as we were saying before, it's a team thing, because you know, very often it's just a handful of persons with the love of things who can do it, and yeah, the love of things can't always pay light bill. So
that's it.
You know, you have to balance what you can do. You
have to find a way to bring in supporting cash.
And it's a little bit easier now, because I mean, everybody has the opportunity to it's not like one time where you had to have special broadcast camera and that kind of thing. You can pretty much do an entire proper movie on your cell phone, you know.
Yeah.
But it's a discussion that we've been having, and we're looking into trying to see what we can do and to get things sorted out. During COVID, we did do 2 things that were specifically for online purpose. So we were able to keep our presence during that very peculiar time. It's not like we don't know what to do. It's just sometimes it's just the ability to get it done.
Yeah.
Although personally, I love live theater. I think the communal effort of sitting in a space with others watching something is far greater than watching it at home through a keyboard.
I agree completely with you. I agree. Yeah.
There's something great about for me being a backstage baby for all my years. Not so much a baby now, because you know the gray hair I'm all out, but that for me is part of the joy, is to stand at the back of the theater and watch people and their body language change as a show starts. You know, they start entertaining, and then as the show goes on, you know, them start to lean forward. And they're jumping up and down in them seat and dancing and rocking them head and answering the characters on stage and that kind of thing. And that's the joy that comes from being in a space where the person is enjoying themselves, so you can't help but enjoy yourself too. Yeah. For me, the greatest thing is to hear the kids laugh, and that's really why I battle with this love, you know. Yes, properly infected by my mother and my family, who have all been involved in the arts.
Yeah.
So there are another, but it's seeing the kids enjoy it, or even not even just the kids, because a couple of weeks ago we had a show where we gave some tickets to community groups, and we invited a couple of the seniors from a couple of the senior citizen homes, and
Yeah.
some of them will come out, and when them hear the music and them are rocking, and say a long time them not dance to nothing, even if it's just
Yeah, of
rock.
course. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's just a joy to see them enjoy just a little minute, just put on some of the hardship of everyday life and
Right.
just lose yourself for a 2 hours in a show. Yeah, and that's what pulls me through. This is one of mine.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
When she unmute herself. Miss Kikori, you hearing me? This is one of our actresses in this year's show.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I'm here, Anya. Sorry, I was trying to change the name.
Okay, no worries.
But you can.
Yes, I will. I'm in the process of doing that now. Good evening,
Okay.
good evening, good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you. Welcome.
Thank you.
This is one of my younger to the pantomime family cast member, Corey Bennett, but she's been a long time fan of pantomime. Her aunt used to be in the cast many years ago, so
Okay.
it's been a kind of family tradition.
Family thing, yeah.
Yeah. You have a question for her, or you want to?
No, not yet.
No, yet. All right, she saw it out herself. I don't know if she turned it on her phone, because she turned on the camera, because she does come in from work, and work can be a hard day.
Oh, yes. She had it on when she just came in, but turned it off. How do you like our welcome?
The welcome to the show?
In the room, yeah.
Yeah, man. You're looking bossy, man.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're looking bossy. But Kikori is one of our troopers. I mean, she sets aside challenges and does her work.
Okay.
She has a major role with us this year. She's her second year with pantomime, and she's taking on the role of the mother figure, which is a role traditionally done by great Jamaican women like Louise Bennett and Leonie Fawda, Dorothy Cunningham, and such, that what we call the Trang Jama woman who have the wisdom.
Take on a big role. Wonderful.
And I'm very proud of her. She's doing such a good job.
Yeah, wonderful. You see, we can't stop this now, because this is us laughing.
Yeah,
ourselves, Yeah.
Right? I see the pretty face there.
Yeah.
So you wanna tell us about your time with pantomime and taking on Mama Cece in this show?
Of course, and I must say I appreciate your words. Definitely very moving. As Anya would have mentioned, I've really been attached to pantomime at my entire life, to be honest. I remember some of the shows as early as 3 years old, going to watch with the family. And that's really what cemented for me what pantomime is, what it means, a show for the family, a show for all age ranges. And I'd say, being amongst the cast, for the last 2 seasons has been such an impactful journey, because here you are seeing it from a different lens, you're seeing it from a different lens. Once upon a time, you would view the art, and now you are fully immersed in the art.
You're making it.
You're watching it unfold before your eyes. You're a part of it. I think some of the most beautiful things about the pantomime over the years has really been, one, the stories, what the stories mean. The core of the stories are always to, you know, inspire, to influence, you know, and just that impartation of that positivity, and how much it involves, you know, and how it derives from the just the culture, Jamaica's culture, what that means. And I'd say this season has really and truly not moved away from that. You know, at the core of the storyline, you see a community of people who, despite challenges, odds, they merge together and they overcome. You know, it's this, even the setting, how the story is set in, you know, sort of a rural community, harvest mount. Harvest, just what the word means, you know, the representation also of the representation also of the different characters, the representation of the characters, and just what they all mean, what my character means, you know, being that matriarch of the community. Yeah, it's been wonderful. It's truly been an amazing journey, and it's a different season for sure, but it's magical, man. I tell you, magical.
Wonderful.
You want me to call her Nicey?
Yeah, man. yes. So you're having fun.
Man. So it's been for those who don't really know, I should probably back up and tell a little bit about the storyline. So it's it kind of stemmed from that saying that everybody says about Jamaica must be God's favorite place to watch. He's always watching because Jamaica ever keep. And the question for us was if somebody's always watching, what are they watching? Why are they watching? Why are they tuned in? Particularly when we sometimes get ourselves into so much kind of mix-up. So the storyline is about a community called Harvest Mount, and they're being overwatched by Father Jack. And Father Jack has two, well, it's more than two, but we start off with two children, Lou and Gabby. And Lou's sole purpose in life is to make trouble and cause people get involved into all kind of mix-up and things. So Lou decides that Father needs some excitement when he's watching Channel 876. I mean, things too nice down in Harvest Mount. I need to get a little adversity, man. I need to suffer a little misfortune. Make we see how them rise to the occasion, how them be with a challenge. So Lou goes and mix up all kind of problems in Harvest Mount. Now, Harvest Mount is in the middle of a change themselves. They are a farming community set up in the hills, and they are faced with some regulations that are coming their way for their fruit producing depot. And one of their leaders, Mas Clifford, sends for his son to come from foreign to come and help out. And when he comes back, it brings up memories for some who would have preferred if he never come back, none at all, and some who are glad to see him. So it's a nice back and forth of who is glad to see Desmond return, who have issues with Desmond. And all of this is complicated with Lou fastening into everything and causing trouble. And then Lou is aided and abetted, although he doesn't realize he's aided and abetted, by his two little sisters, the cherubs, who are the ones in the pampers in the picture behind you right there, who get themselves into all kind of trouble. That get things even more mixed up and turned upside down. But as with all pantomimes, it all comes out in the wash, and all's well that ends well.
Oh yes.
And we have the music is done by the wonderful and expert Grub Cooper, who leads a band with our great trombonist Calvin Cameron, Bubbles Cameron. If people come to the pantomime in the past 15 to 20 years, they know that the trombone is part of the sound of the pantomime band. We have Bubbles on the trombone. We have Jermaine Gordon, a well-established music teacher on keyboards and guitar, and Calvin Mitchell, who many people know as a master drummer.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And 2 other musicians who fill in on the keyboards. And that takes care of our band, who are augmented by tracks that have been provided by Grove as well. And then our cast, as I said, is of about 20 persons. Many of them who, if you've been to the pantomime more than once in the past 10, 15 years, you'll see a recognizable face, as well as lots of newcomers as well, because we make it an effort to always bring in fresh blood, bring in new persons that can refresh the cast and bring new persons to the fore as we do our best to show the best of Jamaica on stage.
Wonderful.
This year we have a female director, which hasn't happened in many, many years. The last time we had a female director was my mother when she did Chicken Mary in 1980 something, was it? 90 something. And before that, Carol Laws back in the 70s. So this is only the 3rd time we've had a female director. Leslie Wanless, who has taken on the hard task of pulling it all together. We have a set designer, Maya Wilkinson, also female, who has designed this very whimsical village of Harvest Mount and the wonderful bits and pieces. And we were very pleased this year to bring on board for our talent pool students of Edna Manley College, who helped us with like the angel wings and the painting of the backdrops and the sets and that kind of thing. So we pride ourselves in making sure that we have a 2nd generation and a 3rd generation coming into things. The young lady who helps us with running the sound effects and the tracks, her mother worked as a stagehand backstage some years ago, and she's joined us in the tech side of things, running the sound effects and such. So we try as much as possible to bring young blood into the theater space and get them involved in the tradition, so that way we can make sure that the pantomime goes on and on and on and on. Because
succession planning at the highest level.
Yeah, has to be. That's the
only way you can keep it going.
Yep. And we're grateful because we have the bulk of our audience is really the schools, and we are also grateful to the teachers and the students who come out and enjoy our shows, and they come from all across the island. Last weekend, Portland was in the house, and we say Portland, full up the place and nice it up. Them anytime Portland come, it's a good vibe. They come with enjoyable energy that them just say, yeah man, them come to enjoy themselves and we're gonna have a good time.
Yeah, but they have I don't know what's happening now, but they used to have a Portland theater group.
Yes, and in fact, one of their members was a cast member for us a couple of years ago. He is a little busy now, so he wasn't able to join us this year. But yeah, they have a very, very strong cultural background, and
and they have
always happy to
see.
Right.
Things,
Yeah. This second to Portland in support for us is St. Thomas. St. Thomas comes out strong for the pantomime. They are there every year, bus load upon bus coming
in. Wonderful. Welcome, Franco. He was there a minute ago.
Yeah, man, Franco is there.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Franco, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Hello, not hearing you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now, yes.
How you doing, Anya?
I am doing well.
Well, I hear you talking about the pantomime, but I haven't seen pantomime like in years, maybe 40 years.
Oh, shame on you. How can you do that? You need to come and say one. I don't understand your big deal like this. You're going to tell me say you don't come see it in years. Come, you have to change that.
I Honestly. So how long does this going to last for?
We run until May. Officially, we run until May 11, but we have one additional showing on May 14. So you have until Mother's Day weekend to come and see the show.
Oh, all right. Okay. I'm going to make an effort. For
Yes,
simple
please.
reason. Yeah, I'm going to make an effort. I'm not going to try. I'm going to make an effort.
No, you're not going to make an effort. You're going to reach.
I'm going to reach. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to reach. Yeah. Once I'm there, you will know. Trust me.
All right. Good.
Mm-hmm.
We are
so what's the theme this year? What's the theme this year? Because
since you're just coming, we're all right. So we're being joined by a fellow cast member and one of our board members, Shama Reed. And the theme is Channel 876. I was just giving the backstory to that, where the idea is if father loves to watch Jamaica, why does he love to watch Jamaica? Because there must be something exciting going on. So we transpose the story a little bit, and Father Jack is watching Channel 876 to see what is going on with the lovely people of Harvest Mount and all kind of trouble that them can get themselves into, especially when one of his children, Lou, goes down to make all kind of trouble and confusion.
And it's what, an hour long?
No, man, it's what, call it 2.5 hours with intermission, broken into two halves. So we have a first half intermission and a second half. We have about 6 or 8 songs, big production numbers, as well as smaller duets and quartets and that kind of thing. So lots of music, lots of dance, and we have one magic fantasy moment that really gets the crowd really riled up as they get all consumed by what happens in this scene, which I can't tell you because you have to come see the show to find out. But I can tell you, any plans
to bring it to Kingston 21?
If Kingston 21 sends the money, we will gladly come. But I was saying to Flavius earlier that it's a challenge. It's a challenge for us because we have a cast of about 20 persons. We would have to carry set. We would want to carry our band. We would need to carry tech persons. So by the time you're done, you're looking at plane tickets for about 26, 28 people, plus set. Because I have a platform that serves as both a mountain and an office depot and a stairway to heaven and all of that. And that's the kind of thing that I would have to ship, because it took me at least 2 hours to paint that piece of set, which is one of the things that I take time away from my computer and my graphic design time to do a little handwork and actually hand paint bits and pieces of the set, because that carries me back to my days of art and craft love. So it will be a little bit challenging, but it's not something that we would say no to if somebody want to send the money and bring me. Yes, we'd gladly come to Kingston 21, even with Trump.
Don't worry about him. All right. They know what you guys are, fun and entertainment. So
that's right.
They will let you
laugh, because trust me, we're going to need a light minute or two.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yeah. It's glad to hear, because I'm gonna spread the word around to friends and family who I know heading down to have some people heading down for Carnival.
Yeah, man.
So I'm gonna tell them.
We'll be on during the Easter weekend. We have shows on Holy Thursday. The Saturday we don't have any shows on Good Friday. The Saturday, Easter Sunday and Easter Monday. So if they're done at that point, they most certainly can come in on for the Easter weekend
as well.
Say again?
Like Monday to Friday.
No, not Monday to Friday. We play on the weekends. That's the most convenient time for us. So we play on the weekends, a Saturday and a Sunday. We do have a couple midweek shows depending on bookings. So for instance, like this coming Wednesday, we will have a special weekday performance at about 2:30 for schools who come in to watch the show as part of their preparations for theater arts classes and that kind of thing. So we do have a couple special shows that we put on, but because our cast are mostly working persons, it's hard to take them away from their livelihood for too long. So we keep the midweek shows to a minimum in order to allow them to be able to earn them living, because I can't pay them work and money. I can only pay them bus fare and the love of my heart.
Yeah, could you introduce our new arrival, Anya, please?
All right, so this is Shamarid, one of our more long-standing members of the pantomime. He's also a member of the pantomime company board that is part of the production team, in short, making sure that the show goes on each year. And Shama has an interesting role. He is Starry, who is the not too pleased person to see Desmond returning from foreign, but Shama has been with pantomime for a good little while. Shama, you want to tell them about your journey to pantomime and how you've been finding it so far?
My journey, good night, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
My journey for pantomime, I think I started out in 2012, 2011, 2012, and I still go to soup, and from there, continue. Journey has been good, bittersweet moment, we lost, a few, of our founding partners. We have Barbara Gouda and we have Michael Lord, last those two, but we keep on going, we keep on going. We can't allow the candles, to out. So we continue to go. Anything else, Anya? Should I say?
Well, I mean, you can tell them a little bit about Starry and what that's been like.
Okay, no problem. So the character that I play this year is known as Starry. He is absolutely opposite of my personality in real life. It's a challenge, but I never back down from a challenge, so this character now, he is very ambitious. He is liked by many, and seen as a role model. However, I can't give it too much about the character. As Anya said before, I am anti-Desmond. I am totally anti-Desmond. Yes. He has a rift with Desmond, and he has a partner as well who try to stir him or try to steer him to release that anger and try to create something positive with him and Desmond. But as I said before, this man is absolutely anti-Desmond. Yes.
And that leads for some very interesting moments as he heads with Desmond, and his mother is played by Kwikori. Mama Cece is his mother, who runs the depot.
Okay.
And she's sitting down watching all of this go on. Not to mention the fact that Starry's sister Bella kind of like Desmond, so it kind of cause a little issue with the family dynamic there, But,
yeah, that's a lot of things.
Yeah, nice and decent mix up, and done in a very family friendly way. But it's all in good fun, and it's another thing that we look at in terms of, I mean, a lot of people come to our show and they just figure that they're gonna get a little moment of laughing and levity, but there are little things that we try and drop in there to kind of just remind people about what's the important things in life. So like Desmond and Starry have to be reminded that there was a reason that they were friends before, and that sometimes you need to let go of old hurts and old wounds in order to progress and move forward. You can't keep carrying the weight of the past with you. If you carry it like a burden, if you carry it and you help it, it helps you to propel you forward, and that's a good thing, but you can't make it hold you back. And so it's things like that when Well, we drop them in as little nuggets, and we hope that the cast gets them, and that the audience picks up these things. I'll go back a little bit to something that happened once. There are times that we would do things in a show and we don't realize how much the audience is picking up. There was a show that we did called Runner Boy, and it was loosely based off of the hysteria and the excitement that came out of Bolt winning the gold at the Olympics. And it's about a young man who liked to run, and he goes to champs, and he struggles through that and overcomes, and at the end he goes to the big Olympics, and we close the show with a kind of homecoming concert for him. And one evening during the performance, there's a huge medal that comes down from the roof, from the fly, and comes on behind the young man, and he holds up his hands and cheers, and he timed it wrong. And on that evening, he and the medal collided, and the medal is made out of ply, so heavy, and it knocked him to the ground. And the guy who played his grandfather scooped him up and carried him off stage. And in true fashion, because the show must go on, they finished the finale, closed the curtain, with, while he was being checked on. He was fine, just had a little bump on his head, put ice on it, and it was fine. But I got a note from a school teacher a couple of days later who said that it became a talking point in the bus on the way back to country, where she pointed out to the students that you saw that just at this moment when he was at the height of his acclaim and everybody was cheering for him, misfortune happened, and he literally fell to the ground. But with the love of his family, the guy who played his grandfather, picking him up and giving him protection and shelter. And she said it became like a teaching thing with the kids in the bus about how would you feel if that happened to you? I mean, if you had this great moment and something went wrong, how would you think about the great moment later on? And she explained how the kids, and these were small kids, they were like 6 and 7, and she was having this wonderful teaching experience with them. And it kind of made us realize that as much as we take it as a simple thing we just putting on a show, it's more than that, because persons draw from it so many different levels to their lives and their experiences. That's another reason why I said that we have to keep making sure that we do things that can impact and affect and effect the lives of our people who we all want to have a better life,
And everything Jamaican.
And everything Jamaican, yeah, everything Jamaican. Everything
Similar story like that happened to a player.
Mm-hmm.
He was the #1 draft pick sometime in maybe about 2015.
Mm-hmm.
And it so happened that his mom got a call from a friend that said, "Tonight is your son's last game. What if this should happen to him?"
Mm-hmm.
And she just out of curiosity said, "Yeah, you're right, because if he get one hit, that could be for him, no NFL contract, etc."
Mm-hmm.
So she decided to insure him for that game in particular. And it so happened that the guy got hurt, and he was taken off, never have an NFL career. And because she doing that, was able to, get the call from somebody, what if that should happen to him? How would you react?
Yeah.
He's able now to live a life,
comfortable life,
a good life, because he's kind of paralytic in a sense, but him still can help himself, but didn't have an NFL career,
And in fact, we have a line in the show that says that when Desmond goes to go pick fruits in the bush, and he comes in his white shirt and him tidy pants, and Starry says to him, "Your son already. The rules say we must always be prepared." It's one of the things that we have to understand. You approach things any way you can, but you have to lay the groundwork and the preparation in order to get the best out of what you plan to do.
True. Well, yeah. I'm gonna make sure I make an effort to see that play. So what's the musical part of it, right? Who's in charge of the music? Who's the music director?
So it is the musical director is Grub Cooper, the great.
Okay.
And we challenge Grub because we give him all kind of things to do. So he starts off with a kind of, what do you call it now? Is that almost a kind of soca samba, soca samba song for heaven, and then we come down to earth with a little bit of the Jamaican reggae style, and we have a really fabulous reggae song, which we've actually recorded, and we're gonna look to put it out, which is called "Here Comes the Daylight," which is a moment when the village is really downbeat and they're not so sure how they can continue. And Desmond's father, Mr. Clifford, says, no matter what happens, there's always daylight at the darkest hour. There's always daylight. And Grub has done this really fabulous arrangement of this song that every night we sing it. I mean, I think we enjoy it more than the audience does, because I mean, everybody's walking around singing "Shoop, shoop, shoop, shooby doo, yeah, here comes the daylight," and we truly enjoy it.
So you guys plan on putting it out, right?
Yeah, we plan to put it out. I don't know if Kwikori, are you still there? If I can get Kwikori to sing her line, it would be nice.
Yes, I'm still here. I'm still here.
Think you can sing a little one line?
I most definitely can.
Give a little piece of daylight.
Things get tough and may seem tight, but I know, my friend, here comes the daylight. Here comes the daylight.
And then everybody goes, shoop, 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 shooby-doo, yeah. Here comes the daylight. Somebody.
Yes.
Yeah, man. So we have all different kinds of music. There's a really rousing soca party tune for the finale. We have a little love song where Shama gets to test his vocal chops and sing to his girlfriend Charita. We have a nice dub poetry piece, dub music kind of thing called "What If," that Lou sings when he says, "What if I speed it up and slow it down? What if I turn your community upside down? You know, how will you stand? You know, or will you fall?" So it's a nice mix of different kinds of song. We love the fact that we're able to have a live band. We do our best with that. We've had to downsize. So personally, I miss the fact that I don't have a bass guitar player anymore. When things pick up, I can get that back in. But for now, we have the trombone, keyboard, congas, and Calvin goes between the congas and the trap set, and we augment that with recordings that Grub has laid on tracks for us, and we do our best to pull it all together so that people can dance them way out of the show and thing.
So in total, how many songs?
It would be like about 8 songs if memory serves correctly. Yeah, about 8
That's
songs.
a soundtrack right there. So
a soundtrack right there.
You can't put it out, man. You can't put out the whole thing as an EP or an album.
Yeah. Over the years, we've done
one
some.
Song, put out the whole thing, and
the
then
whole thing.
Use the one song as they catch you one.
Yeah. We've done things in the past with music that people don't realize. There's a song that they sing at almost every festival competition called "Thief Take Over Town," which everybody swears is a folk song, but it's a pantomime song that my mother wrote with Grub.
Yeah.
We perform that almost every year. "Thief Take Over Town," another one called "Plant the Yam in the Moonlight," which have become almost like new folk songs, you know.
One time I went to a music festival. Actually, it was a film festival in Miami, and they had the soundtrack. But how they did it is like they said the CD was free, but it wasn't free. It wasn't free, but the CD was free.
The catch.
Eh? The
What was the
ticket
catch?
purchase, to come in, the price was already for the CD. Was
the
already
CD
in.
price was already booked in for the
Yeah.
price.
They give it a
Okay.
CD.
So they say you get a free CD, you know, as a complimentary thing.
Yeah, but you don't already bill into the ticket. I get you.
Already bill into the ticket. So that night when we were inside there, my friends sit down inside and we had about 200 or more people inside there. And I'm saying, roughly about 300, Franco. And I say, well, them sell 300 CD.
Yeah.
And them saying, if them keep this up every night, them sell a lot of CDs. You understand me? So something like that can work.
Yeah, well, I'm looking to get it out on a couple of the streaming platforms. So we're working on it. So we
hard copy is good too. When somebody have a hard copy that them can say, I've been to the pantomime this year.
Oh yes.
Hard copy with people's signature on it.
Yes.
You know, that's a good catch. You know.
We do find that the school groups they like the opportunity to come backstage and meet the persons that they've seen on stage.
There you go. There you go. And if them have the hard copy and them see each character, you know, them say, can I have your signature? Autograph, whatever it is.
They definitely do that with the program, the souvenir program.
Oh yeah, the program.
And there are persons I know who have kept programs for years. Every year that they've been to a show, they've had a program for.
Have you ever done anything like that? Like say, who have a program from 2005? You know, bring it with you.
Yeah.
You know, that's a good idea. I should do that. I should run a social media. I should run a social media.
What them call it?
Challenge.
Challenge.
And send me and you get a free ticket.
Yeah, a challenge. Yeah.
You know. Good idea. Something that we work on. Don't charge me for that idea. I'll just work with it same way.
Oh no. But
remember, you're one of us, Trina. So.
Yes, this is true. I am official real stuff member.
Of course you are. In the biggest way.
Always glad to help. Anything for the culture, me that, you know?
Yeah.
Let me see.
So your staff seem to be, or your cast seem to be enjoying themselves.
Well, I try my best to make life good for them. And they do their best to make life good for me too. I mean, they surprised me with a birthday cake on the weekend. My birthday was the weekend before, but we didn't get to spend time together. And them was a big surprise for me and give me birthday cake last weekend. So we try and live a nice little family life. You know, we make an effort to work together because we are working together from September, October, right around till May. And so we tend to spend time together a lot. So we spend most of the holidays together. So we try and make sure that we all look after each other and keep ourselves happy and keep everybody happy.
Wonderful, yeah, man. That is great, yeah. I
mean, I shared my mother with all of them, you know. Shama will tell you that, you know, for most of them to spend time hugging up Mrs. G was a regular thing for them. I mean, when she draw them, they come here, come and talk to me and tell me what's going on with you. There's a friend of mine a friend of ours who was in the cast who laughed and said that Miss G saw that she did like off one of the guys them way before she did like him off, and when they married, Mrs. G did know that was going to happen from early because she was so in tune with them.
Yes. So, what kind of replacement thing you have? Is it the same cast more or less all the time, more or less? Apart from bringing in
You're breaking up. You were breaking up. Say again.
No, I'm just saying your cast. How often it changes?
It changes every year. There's always it changes every year. There are persons who are there for many years, but there are always fresh persons coming in, and there are persons who leave and come back as well. Like for instance, this year one of our lead roles is played by George Howard, who was in Pantomime many years ago, took a couple years break and has come back in for this particular production. And so we have Fresh Blood each year. I mean, as Shama said, he's been there since 2012. Kwikori has been there for 2 years now. Couple persons like Ray Jarrett, who people might recognize from a commercial here and there and such. Like Ray has been with us from 2009, I think. But I mean, it's always changing in terms of the balance. There are persons who have done more than 20 years and the persons who this is their first year. So we always try and bring in fresh faces so that we can always give persons a chance to be a part of the pantomime experience.
Wow.
And persons who have been in there for years, they've played different roles. So like Shama can probably tell you about the different kinds of roles he's played in the past. They've always changed and things. Shama?
Hey,
No, I was saying you can share a couple of the roles, the different kinds of roles that you've played in all your time with pantomime.
Oh, I think the first role, it was an understudy. It was a character named Marcus, the juvenile, and then I think my second pantomime was Schoolers, and I played Bookhead, a studious individual. My third pantomime would have been Golden Massacre, and I played an eccentric character known as Poultry. And then my fourth one was a prince. I played a prince, the handsome prince. And my brother was the, I think that prince named Chickvee.
Chickvee, yes.
Yes, Chickvee, yes. So my brother was Chickvee, and I was Prince Wagga Wagga from, I don't remember where. From there I played several characters.
So each year it's a new thing. Each year it's a new story, new role, new character.
Yeah.
Is it maybe you can tell them a little bit what it's like, Shama, putting down one thing and finding out how you find different roles and different characters.
Any I told me to do a speaker?
Give them a little tips.
I think every year the text comes with tools, and apart from the tools, it also gives you an opportunity to go out and do some research. You know, I think this year, as I said before, my character is opposite of my personality, so it gave me a challenge, you know, to find that character, which I had to go do my own research, stand up another road. Watch videos, dancer videos and so forth to see how I can interact, you know, because his name is Starry, so he is more of an individual that is seen throughout the community and also being respected, but he has
Embossy.
yeah,
And brush.
yes, both. So I have to learn to be that type of person and to ensure that it doesn't come off as fake, but come off as realistic as you know. So that's something I have to do.
And like for Kwikori is still there. She's playing someone who will be at least 3 times older than she is in real life. How she found that?
You know, it's so interesting, ensuring that you can adapt and adjust, you know, your language, how you speak, how you walk, you know, the tone of your voice, you know, just how you gesticulate, you know, your body movements, you know, it's really it's an art. It's an art in itself, because you're really creating a character. You're creating a character, so it's really an art in itself. And it's always so wonderful to me. Even a show, or the other day we had a show, and I went outside and a lady asked me, "Oh, what character did you play?" You know, I find it so interesting. So I would not have been recognizable to her on stage because I'm playing an older lady. You know, my body movement is different. I have a slouch in how I walk, and yeah, it's great. It's wonderful.
And considering last year she played a young, sprucey teenager, and this year she's playing a senior citizen.
Yeah.
Which brings me to the point, Anya, how you go about selecting your cast members for audition?
All right, so generally we don't audition for parts primarily. We audition for membership to the pantomime company. So we put out a call on social media and in other spaces. We reach out to like Edna Manley College, Excelsior, a couple of the teachers' colleges, and ask for persons who are able to, best of all three, sing, dance, and act. They don't necessarily have to be trained actors, trained singers, or trained dancers, but they have to show an aptitude for it, or at least two of three. And once we can see that they have the ability to be performers and for them to be educable, which is a word that Professor Nettleford would use all the time. You have to be able to learn. Then those persons are brought into the company, and when the process of reading the script is being done now, then they'll audition within the group for roles, or we might already know who would fit that particular role, and they have to work and build themselves into that particular character. So very often we will have an idea based on what we know of them and their abilities, what role may be suited to them, as well as they will surprise us. They will ask to do something that we never thought they would be willing to do or able to do, and surprise us and do it, wonderfully well. So it's a little bit about open book in terms of who we bring in, because we've had persons who've had absolutely no training and have gone on to be very credible performers who you see in short films and other theater productions over the years. We one of the things that Grub says is that although you may be a singer, it's important that you understand how to sing for choral arrangement, because yes, you will have solos and you will have solo lines, but you're going to be primarily singing with a group, and you're going to be singing songs that you don't know. These are all new, almost always new arrangements. Sometimes we will bring back a song from a previous show, but so you have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to be flexible, because we could ask you to do anything from how to be a chicken to a prince, to an old man, to a baby, to a young girl, and you have to be able to be flexible enough to take that on. More than anything, it is the willingness to be a part of the madness that is theater and pantomime in particular.
What's the age?
Well, we try to at least we take persons from like about age 19, 20 to as far as you can manage the work that is required of you. So if you are 62 and can still bust a dance that we require you to do, and you can still do dinky mini and bend down low when you need to, then sure. The most important thing is if you have the time, because as I said, we're going from September, October, all the way back till May. So if you're okay with giving up your Christmas Eve and your Easter break, and chances are your birthday and all of that, spend time with other persons who sometimes you don't like when they get on, then that's the price of admission.
Okay. Sound like fun.
It can be.
Fun.
It's fun, right?
Sound like fun.
Corey, it's fun, yes?
It has to be fun in order for it has to be fun in order for continue. Because hard work plus fun.
Yeah. And as I say, it's that thing that you get afterwards when you know that you've done your best and persons have enjoyed your performance and respect what you've done. And even if you don't do a good job that night, for just to be able to say, all right, so I messed up a line, I forgot a scene thing here, but just be willing to come back and do better the next time.
Most difficult task you ever have that look like it can't solve, but you were able to solve it?
Oh, not for that. For that. Holy for that. I've had situations where something happens and 3 cast members can't make it to a show, so you have to figure out how to collapse 2 roles into one body so that one person literally says all the lines that 3 characters would normally say, and they say it themselves, and people don't realize that you're missing, 3 other cast members. We've had situations where light gone and the band has to play for a 45 minutes while we frantically call JPS and ask them what happened, and them say, boy, it's a light post with somebody leaking and we're going to try and run back the line and thing and all of that. We've had situations where persons have fainted on stage and you figure out how to finish the scene and keep it going. So I mean, the thing is, it's just always being flexible and willing to try something that you've probably never done before, and be willing to listen and lean on others. And as I say, lean on others, Shama is probably gonna laugh because they know that if it's up to me, I will carry 14 cement blocks in my hand and not ask for help until they say, no, Anya, we can at least carry 12 for you. You can carry those too.
Okay.
I know it comes a time when you have a big group like that, where you say you have 20 cast members. And of course you have some people who play a dual role. You have standbys as well. That's in case the main character or somebody can't show up or them get sick immediately, can't fit in. Even if them don't say nothing.
We do plan for understudies, but sometimes things that you didn't plan for happen. So you will find that you're suddenly thrust into a role that you never did rehearse for, but because you know the show and you know the purpose and the meaning behind the characters and the storyline, you're able to fill in at a moment's notice. I think both of our friends here have had to fill in at a moment's notice on more than one occasion.
Well, since I have been absent from pantomime for so long, right? I want to know, have the pantomime ever done any political play? When I say political play, I mean like you run a political scene that's happening in Jamaica. Don't call no name.
Yeah.
So pantomime has always embraced topicalities and things that are happening in the public sphere. There was one year when the line about when we had a policewoman on stage, and one night news came out and her line was, I not doing anything more until I get my 1.5 exemption. So they find ways to work things in, but the one thing that we do is that we always want to be respectful of our audience and those around us. So even if we're poking fun, we poke fun with care and with tact and grace.
Okay.
Yeah. We're not gonna make a thing slide if we can see a point where we can juke a little and push a little.
Any ad-libbing?
Oh, there's always ad-libbing. There's always ad-libbing. And sometimes you don't want the ad-libbing and the audience will ad-lib to you and you have to answer them. There are times when you can't help but answer what them say to you. But yeah, there's always space for that. Topicalities was one of the things that the pantomime was known for back in the days of Louise and Ronnie, who made that a thing where between set changes, when them not ready for the next scene, them go out there and talk a thing or two. But we kind of structure it more now, so we try and find the things that are happening that can work within the framework of the show. So like the fact that Desmond has come back from foreign, there are questions as to why he has suddenly come back.
He get deported.
Yeah, but yeah, so I mean there are things like that you can't help but make a notice of, but
Trump deported, man. Falling at the Trump scheme.
Ice.
Well, you have to come and find out if it's Desmond get deported or involuntary come back or not. You have to come and
most old people volunteer and go back home. Young people don't volunteer. Them get in a trouble, their visa expired or something.
Things. No, talk it truth. If everybody could have come back and eat a patty and enjoy a OT apple and a Naseberry, they would.
They would. And I see changes I've made, There's some guys on the east side of the island. They've been promoting Portland a lot. For people to come home and come enjoy it. I was talking to a young lady who worked at the airport with me, and she was down there for 1 month, and she was inside the hotel for 1 month because of what the hotelers were telling them that Jamaica, outside dangerous. And she have been all over Jamaica before, and I said, why you listen to that such garbage?
Of course.
You should have picked up the phone and call a friend and make them come pick you up.
Of course,
because the hotel want you spend all of your money.
All the money inside.
Inside here.
You come home with sense. You don't come home full. I mean, just like how if I go New York, I not walk through New York, Manhattan with my bag open and looking like I don't know where I'm coming from, and so people can take advantage of me. You same thing, you don't come out here and make people take advantage of you either. You keep your wits about you wherever you go. Whether you're at home or abroad or returning home or returning elsewhere or nowhere, you still approach things with common sense.
And a lot of people listen to what people tell them, Don't do this. Don't. So we have a new arrival.
I think that is another one of our longtime cast members, Kevin Halstead, who is also a member of our board of management. But him I think him camera shy. So Halstead, is you that?
Greetings.
Welcome.
Indeed, Mr. Halstead. Mr. Halstead has been in pantomime for many years. I think right now he's our second longest serving member of cast. Well, no, could be longest because although George started before you have done consistently more than George, I would think by now. No, so Halstead?
Absolutely. From 1998, I have stopped counting.
And he has played a wide range of characters, from juvenile lead to juvenile goat.
Well, you say animal.
Animal.
Tell us a little about that, please.
Well, for the most part, our characters or my characters, the characters that I play, are well researched. Yeah. So they are. If I'm going to be studying or playing the character, the role of a goat, an animal, I've played a crocodile as well. One has to observe how the crocodile would move, and you have to work the body along that in that manner. So you take on the characteristics of these animals as best as you can, to portray them as real as possible. So for every character that I have played or we play, we tend to do a lot of back work, a lot of research on the characters. If it's an old man, we have to go out there and find that elderly gentleman and find how he moves, how he speaks, you know, what are his peculiarities, and come back and try to bring that on stage. And when we do that, what I find is that the persons will come to you and they'll see me as in the past. They say, but you play that old man, you're young, you look so young, you're never old. You know, they come and touch me, want to say, is you? No, it's not you. But then when I speak, because I think I have a distinct voice, when I speak, they will say, yes, are you for true? And you know, the joy of going across Jamaica and being recognized for the work that we do, you know, is very, very encouraging.
In fact, he played a role with a gentleman with a limp, and someone who is close to me said to me, but I didn't know you had someone who you had a member of the disabled community in past. And I said, no, that you know, not I don't have anything against the disabled, but that was just him finding a particular walk for that character, which he did with great effect. Not to make fun of or anything like that, but it brought a kind of gravity to the character that was very, very needed. And he handled it so well that people truly thought that he had a issue with his left leg.
Okay.
Also, I remember this. I used to commute from Old Harbor to come into Kingston, right, for my performances, and then I'd head back home. And I used to go home with this gentleman who was always drinking. Yeah, so we would take the same taxi to go to Old Harbor from Spanish Town. And I remember playing that sort of drunken man. You know, I got his voice because he would constantly be talking. Yeah, and I tell you, when I look back, when I reflect, you know, I was saying the other day, I've not been. I would love to know what has happened to him, because I had that man down, that character down to a T. And you remember him? You remember?
Of course. And I will tell you something, Flavius. He's Kevin has had some real battles with Mrs. G, because
yes.
She will say to him that, but that's not how I see the character. And he will say, but no, Mrs. G, this is a man I know, and this is how he would do it. And the two of them would go at it for weeks until they settle on the happy minimum that works for them. Yeah.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
But research is one of the things that we insist is done. We like for
our field trips. Field trips, you know.
You can tell them a little bit about some of the field trips you've done, Kevin.
Well, yes, absolutely, because we did a piece of work with some birds, and I remember us going, and I don't remember exactly where, but I know it was somewhere up your side or on that side.
Up to us.
Right. Yeah. Just to observe birds, you know, how in their natural space, yeah, and come back on stage and depict as best as possible, you know, the movements, how the bird would. I remember us, you know, working the head, how the birds would use their heads, how they would, the feet, how they would jump, you know, and things like that. There was another time that we went to Old Harbor Bay. We were doing a piece of work on fishermen, right? I think, yeah. We're at seaside and things like that. And we went to Old Harbor Bay to observe the pelicans, and all of that. They spoke to the men the fishermen who would go out, spoke to the vendors and so on, just to be able to bring the characters to life and to make them relatable. Yeah. So those two stand out in my mind up until now. There are many others because, as I said, for most work that we embark on, we try our best to go out into the field, you know, to be able to gather as much as we can to be able to come and present something authentic.
For sure.
It's a lot of work.
Yes, absolutely.
Sometimes
Absolutely.
I wonder how we get so much work done.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
We really make it an effort to try and find different areas of Jamaican culture, because one of the things that we always do is we always include proverbs. So those are always part of the offering with the pantomime, and it's really wonderful to hear when they'll start a proverb on stage, and the people in the audience will finish the proverb because they know them, you know. And it's good to know that that things like that are still going along. We try and include other little cultural movements. So like we always try and include some element of folklore or folk culture, whether it is making sure that we use like we work like a calabash into things, or we'll work in that thing that they catch birds on. I don't know what you call it, if you call it a springe or a caliban. That kind of things.
Boat, yeah.
Right. You know, we try and work things like that, because it's also important to make sure that things that that we could easily lose from everyday culture, we work it back in. So I tell you something that happened that was really very funny. In preparing for this show, we have a scene where Kevin and Kwikori and Shama, all three of them are in an office, and they make a phone call, and one of the younger members of cast is to make the call, and we put a fixed line, a landline phone on the desk, and a minute for him to figure out, okay, how this work, because him only ever make phone call upon a cell phone with a touch. So, you know, for him to realize, oh, you pick it up and you dial the number. And to realize that, okay, for some of us, this is like, oh, well, this is, you know, well, yeah, that's what I know. But for him, it was something new. He had never used a landline, because he grew up either borrowing a cell phone or having a cell phone for himself. He didn't know what to do with a landline. So it's really interesting to see that things that sometimes you don't even realize that could become a missing part of our culture.
Oh yes.
You're finding a way to keep it intact, you know, because that was really quite something. And in fact, I think we worked it into the scene, because he eventually ended up getting tied up in the curly cord that's attached to the phone, and that was worked into the scene. But it's been our pleasure. It's been our pleasure to do this year after year after year. Shama would have alluded to
Absolutely.
some of the challenges that we've had in the last few years between COVID and losing some very important and vital members of our team.
Yeah.
And so we're in a kind of rebuilding stage. I think we're going from strength to strength, and as much as we can, we are going to do our very best to keep this tradition going. It's a tradition that started back in 1941 with a whole bunch of British white expats who wanted to have a little pantomime fun at Boxing Day, and it has now become a thoroughly Jamaican experience built off of the great work of Louise Bennett and Ronnie Williams and Lloyd Kelly Miller, coming down to Leonie Forbes, Valier Johnson, Oliver Samuels, Dorothy Cunningham, Michael Nicholson, you know, all of those persons who have gone before in pantomimes before. And I am glad to be a part of a tradition that has always shown Jamaica in a positive light, to show that we very often look at culture in a kind of skewed way, that, oh, if a man beat a woman, that is part of a culture. No, it's not. You know, we understand why we have the violent tempers that we do because of the 300 years of slavery and that kind of thing. But we know that there are ways to show ourselves in a culture that works. I mean, it's not everything that we embrace as culture is helpful to us. So we try and find ways to show that there are things that we have that we can embrace and hold strong and build up and affirm and continue.
Yeah, I think it shows Jamaica that, you know, Jamaica is good and, you know, we can do all kind of things.
Of course.
That's why you have to keep it going.
Yeah. God's willing, we will.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I personally don't think we have enough things like the pantomime, you know. What we have is foreign TV.
But you know, there are things out there, but sometimes we don't notice that they're there. And some things could get more attention and more forward than other things. And which is why I'm really grateful to you and Franco for an opportunity like this for us to express what we do and to bring it to a space that we probably wouldn't normally get to bring it to and share our little part of culture to a new audience, you know.
Yes.
Well, this is why we are here. The Real Stuff Podcast, that is what we are here for.
The real stuff.
Yeah.
We join on a phone now and not the iPod.
Okay. No, it's very important that we keep doing this. You keep doing that and we keep doing this.
And I appreciate the fact that you have it upon your platform so that it becomes part of our history. It's something
it is permanent for the most part, yes.
Right.
You know, and we definitely wanted to have you this year. And I'm very happy that, you know, it could be done.
When is the premiere? When is the premiere night again?
Boxing Day. We premiered Boxing Day as per usual, which has been the tradition since 1941. We took a little break during January and relaunched for March 1, and we run until Mother's Day weekend in May. We have one additional show on May 14, and then we pack it up, wrap it up, and prepare for the next go.
I know you soon leave, Anya, but you say it started Boxing Day, right? So I know that was when I saw my pantomime Boxing Day.
Yes.
Max Ran and Miss Lou at the time.
Right.
I won the theater.
Yeah, man.
So, you know, a long
back
time.
Back in the day, it always starts at 6 o'clock on Boxing Day, and we've done our best to keep that tradition going. Even during COVID.
Thank you.
Yeah, even during COVID, when we couldn't be physically in a space, we did have something to mark the December 26th, 6 p.m. as usual.
Wow, that was good.
We keep going.
That was a good one. So you put out like a poster, right?
No, we actually did that. We actually did. It's on our YouTube channel. We did one was a kind of review of past pantomimes that we filmed and put on, which was called Never Give Up, Nah Give Up, because when we wasn't going to give up. And then we did another one called Rebel K, and those took care of the 2 years of COVID. And then we were able to hit back on stage, and this is our second run as a standalone company. The pantomime has been associated with the Little Theatre and the Little Theatre movement for many years. We have taken the step to keep the pantomime as a brand on its own, and we're working hard at that. This is our second full-fledged production, although we've done a couple other things under the pantomime company umbrella before this. And we just intend to keep it going so that we can make sure that for those who remember going to pantomime when they was little bit, can pass along those memories to their grandkids and their great grandkids, and try bring them come out, because we close May 11th, so hurry up.
Liquor Theatre our Broadway.
Liquor Theatre is our Broadway.
Yeah, our Broadway. I've come visit the place, you know, because I know it gone through a lot of changes. I don't know if we have no monument yet, or no statue, and no individuals, or no handprint and footprint, etc., etc. But I have to come visit the place. It's been a while. I haven't been into that area, you know, Tom Redcam area.
Right.
The library.
Make sure touch down and come. I mean, we've been flirting with the idea of doing a mural of the theater arts in that area. So that's maybe something that we can move along to a greater, more than just a concept into actuality. But in the meantime, persons can see our clips of past shows on our YouTube channel. There are two websites. One is the ltmpantomime.com, which has some of the older stuff, and Pantomime Company Jamaica, which has some of the newer stuff. And we are on social media at Wi Pantomime. We're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. So catch the backstage shenanigans. You can see when them sing the spirituals for warm up before a show to get the voice up and ready, and Trump to turn and thing as we get ready for a show in the evenings. So I mean, it's a nice little way of keeping in touch with us and seeing what we're about and what we're up to. That's also where we advertise for like auditions and that kind of thing. So follow us and keep in touch with us.
What's the YouTube name?
Wi Pantomime.
Okay.
Wi Pantomime. Okay.
Pantomime.
I must go on it and start watching it, you know.
Yeah, man. And there are a couple clips from back in the day too. There's a clip or two with Leonie and Oliver, and there's a vocal recording of Miss Lou and Ronnie Williams singing together. So really? I mean, lots of little stuff. Yeah, as well as some stuff from later years. You should. I think you will see a little bit of Mr. Halstead as a drunken man, and bits and pieces of a couple of the others. I have more stuff to upload, so you can see when Kwikuri was playing a nice young girl and not an old lady this time around. But things are there. Tune in and you can see.
Oh yes.
And I sound excited in your voice, you know.
Yeah, man.
About the pantomime. I know if your finger cut the word and your blood run out, it's supposed to say pantomime.
So pantomime. But I'm not going to pantomime.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. If your finger get cut and the blood run out, it's supposed to spell out pantomime.
Yeah, man.
You've been there for me, a little girl.
I've been there from in the belly.
Yeah. Oh, see, there you go.
In the belly. My mother was pregnant when she was writing a pantomime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
So from literal inception, come all the way through.
Well,
wow,
you are at the right place.
Can't dodge it. Can't dodge it.
Yeah, to carry on.
I show off and tell people that Miss Lou and Louise Bennett and Lloyd Kelly Miller were my godmothers, so I couldn't do it.
You know, Flavius, and I make me think when we used to go to church religiously, she go pantomime religiously.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, this the pantomime, we couldn't miss church by Sunday. Wow.
And I'm happy to say that I'm surrounded by persons who have been bit by the bug and are just as infected as I am. I give thanks for my friends who have joined me here today, Kwikuri and Shama and Kevin, who are part of the backbone of this particular form of theater, you know. Some newer to it than others, but still supporting it wholeheartedly throughout the entire way through. And I have to big them up.
Well, you are there to steer this generation, you know, the new pantomime generation. That's your job now to steer them into, you know. Mold them in.
Keep it going.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let me just jump in here. Thank you, Anya. We feel the same way. We It's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure working with you. Although we quarrel and fight. Yeah? we
Which we do.
even when we have our disagreements, like back in the days with Mrs. Blue Dog, you know, we don't always, you know, agree, but for this tradition and the betterment of you know, the production and so on. We want to big you up. Thank you for all that you continue to do. We love you. We love you, and we'll always be here to support you.
Am I saying that, you know? Am I saying that?
Yeah, we're supporting Anya, but you're also supporting Jamaica.
Yes, most definitely.
We need a
Absolutely.
lot more of this. Yeah, we did, definitely. Definitely.
Big ups every time. Big up.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yes, Anya.
We thank you
Wow.
again for joining us. I think this is a wonderful show.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it.
And we're gonna be putting it out by tomorrow. Sometime tomorrow we'll put it out.
Okay.
Yeah. And when you find the time again, we want to invite you back to continue this.
Yeah, man. Most definitely. Most definitely.
And bring some more cast members.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna share that song with you so you can attach it to the recording when you're putting it up.
Oh, wonderful. Yes. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So
it's a pleasure hearing all of your voice, meeting you all of you virtually, and hopefully you guys will see me soon.
Yes, please.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, most definitely holding you to it.
I look forward to it.
As my land, me go call Anya. Say, Anya, me there.
Make sure. Make sure.
As we close down, could everyone want to give a closing remark, please?
Closing remark, guys.
Just want to say thank you for giving us this opportunity to share. I came in a little late because I had a previous engagement, but it has been refreshing. We're grateful for this opportunity. And just to say, invite those who have not yet come to see the pantomime to come on down. Come enjoy some of the culture, some good music, dance.
Pop two laugh a pea soup.
That's it.
Who's next?
Yeah, man, you know, thank you so much for having us. You know, Anya is really, I'd say, essentially what Anya has done. And of course, the board members that work so closely by her side, like, you know, Kevin and Shamareed. It's really the cornerstone of traditional Jamaican theater. And I am just always so happy that I got to be there, you know, from beginning. You know, like I said, I remember shows as early as, you know, age 3. I remember growing up and seeing ships on the stage and wondering how the ship ended up there. And these are memories that I have, you know, growing up years, you know. I remember when Kevin played that crocodile, you know, he said, you know, he played a crocodile. I remember Kevin playing a crocodile. I remember a shark. And just some great moments, some wonderful moments. I remember Maka Fat, who was this mysterious monster. These are really older pantomimes, but it grew with me. And from growing with me, it led me here now, a part of the team. And I'm just elated, like I said, to be a part of the magic. And we are inspiring others now. You know, when I see smaller kids in the theater now, I look back at I think back of, you know, when I was their age, when I was watching it unfold before me and wondering how they did it and how it happened. So, you know, the aim and the desire is always to continue on that legacy. And I'm so grateful for Anya to give us that opportunity. And yeah, man, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for this opportunity particularly, you know, where we really get to share what we are passionate about. Thank you for giving us this platform. Yeah. Big up on yourself.
Every time.
I want to say thanks to...
Go ahead, big man.
Okay, I want to say thanks to everybody here on the platform. Thanks for having the Pantomime Community here, introducing the pantomime to persons who really who have never seen a pantomime, and also for persons who are long-time pantomime fans. Really actually grateful. I must say thanks to Anya, you know, why we got through a whole lot. You know, we got through a whole lot. But, you know, remember, I got your back. You know, as I was watching that show, I think it was, which show again? I think it was, I don't remember the show, but all the person in the show said it was, I got you. Just remember, I got you. I have a team that got you as well, you know. Thank you very much. And sir, I do hold you to that, you know. When you say that you want to come and watch the pantomime, no problem. You can give myself a link. I also give Anya a link. Or I can arrange a complimentary ticket somewhere. Okay?
All right.
So thank you very much. Okay.
Well, the theater, the art, and the music of pantomime, as the young lady says, magic. You know, it's magical for everyone who have seen pantomimes over the years. Like myself, I remember mine back in the 60s. So, you know, and the 70s. So, as you know, the past and the present members who are, you know, who have done it for how many years, I must give thanks to them, you know, especially to Anya, who I've known. I, you know, look forward to officially meet in person. As I said, when I get there, you'll hear. Don't worry yourself, I'll be there.
Looking forward to it.
All right.
Thanks again, guys. Really appreciate it.
Okay. So we take our leave. We thank you again all for coming. And we will arrange for you to come back.
All right. Look forward to it.
Yeah, man, definitely. And as the gentleman said, you all have Anya's back. But I can tell you something. Anya has the Real Stuff podcast back. Thank you, ma'am.
You're very welcome. Always a pleasure.
Okay.
All right.
So, bye for now from the Real Stuff podcast.
As them say, walk good and tell them other one only.
Oh, yes, definitely.
All right. Blessed love.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Respect.
One love.
You lead us so full of. You belong far away away. Ajuguala lebobu seru. Lida mua, lida sungfula. Lida mua, lida sungfula.
Well, unfortunately, this is it. Till next time. Bless.
All you gotta do is just speak. One word is enough, and I'm no longer so rough. I forget what I was trying to say. I no longer do what I was gonna do, but you're no good for me. That's why me know what set me I think of flee. Me I fi take away me say. Me I fi take away me say. Me I fi hide like a thief in the night. Me I fi get out of sight.